Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Miss Kaysen, would you like to read, please?
It's blurry, so I'm gonna have to guess.
Oh,
The
really? Sorry.
The Buddha's Eightfold Path culminates in the means to nirvana realization.
Yeah.
Yes. Right view and right thought. Right view is traditionally understood to be a thorough understanding of the Four Noble Truths. Right thought refers to detachment from hatred and cruelty. Both of these qualities lead to enlightenment.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward, right?
Yeah.
We share with you the charge here. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
So right here, right views here, right understand about point of truth. We talked about that before, right? Understand about the karma, the cause and effect. Understand the three characteristics of impermanent, suffering, not self. Miss Kirsten, you know why in Buddhist view to have right view or wise view or right understanding is so important here. Why is that? What do you think?
Well, I mean, if you don't really understand the whole path and understand where to keep your mind and your intentions, it's pretty easy to fall off the path, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, this is so important, right? To have to recognize it as well as we want to have the happiness and peacefulness. We need to understand them, especially the law of cause and effect. Whichever thing we put out there is bounce back to us, right? And this is right. This is about right intention or right thought here. We have to have the patience, generosity, loving kindness, goodwill, compassion. So it is so important because whichever thing we do out there, we need to have the intention, proper intention. Otherwise, it be maybe harmful for others, right? So that's why this right understanding and right intention is so important. Whichever thing we say, whichever thing we act, most of the time based on our thought, right? That's why Buddha say that we need to have this type of proper thought, right intention. We have to have the intention of helping others, of generosity, loving kindness, and so forth. This straightforward, right? Yeah. Let's see here. The one that sits nearby you, what is his name? You would like to read this one? What's the name, please?
Joe.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, the Buddhism,
The mean, yeah.
the means to realize them is unique to the Buddhist teachings. As one moves from morality to meditation, success is measured by the development of something that the early texts call prajna. The term is often translated as wisdom. In the sense of existential knowledge, that is the result of meditative experience. What is also important to capture the active characteristic of Buddhist prajna. That is, as a kind of faculty that enables one unfailingly to see reality clearly amid the constant flow of human experience.
Yeah, you can stop there. That's okay. You understand that part?
Yes.
Yeah. So why we need to have the practice of meditation in order to have the wisdom? What do you think? Why is that?
I think it's about slowing down and being able to see things as they are, because if your mind is going too fast
Yes.
and you're preoccupied, I guess would be more the word, you're not going to see things clearly.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's why yeah, do meditation is so important for us. And start from July 9, we have 3 hours of meditation on Saturday morning from 8 to 11. Saturday is the July 9 next month. Yeah. All right. So what's the name? I forgot. The one that did the what's the name?
Right, Joe?
Yeah, please. Would you like to read this, please?
Where was that? These, so that was these three marks?
Mhm.
These three marks or characteristics, suffering, impermanence, and non-self, are true at all times and in all places. Prajna enables one to see reality and not to be thrown into greed, lust, or anger. No matter what situation one finds oneself in, looking at each of these characteristics of existence from the viewpoint of prajna helps to clarify the Buddhist vision of the highest truth.
Yeah, you can stop there. Yeah. So that's why here, right? The 3 marks of characteristics. That's what I show you here. That's what's here about impermanent, suffering, unsufferatory, difficult to be, no, not self. So these are the 3 characteristics of a system that in Buddhist view we need to follow. We need to recognize. Otherwise, for example, if nature disaster struck us like tornadoes, like last time we have a bit yeah, tornadoes, right? Bit winds, so or even the COVID-19, right? It is so unexpected. Many people are so frustrated. But if we understand, oh, everything is impermanent, things come and go, it changes moment by moment, we can accept and move on. Yeah. Okay, so next one, please. Yeah, what's the name?
You.
I'll meet John.
Yes.
Seeing the world clearly means not being in denial about one's own mortality or about the suffering that afflicts all beings in samsara. Seeing the universality of this existential fact opens the trained mind to see the necessity for compassion, both to succor the afflicted and to undermine attachment for one's own inevitably mortal body.
You understand this? You understand this part?
There's a lot to unpack there. But I think it refers back to the mark of impermanence, being aware of one's own mortality and being aware of that universal fact that all things are impermanent. That leads naturally to a feeling of compassion for everyone because we're all impermanent beings.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's one. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see here. Next one, please. Let's see here.
Perceiving impermanence means to see reality in a fundamentally different manner from the common sense perceptions that develop as humans reach maturity. From a Buddhist point of view, humans are conditioned from birth to perceive the world in an illusory framework. Having been taught from infancy to separate the self from the world, and then to distinguish myriad objects as entities completely separate from ourselves, humans focus on gratifying this self using all the five senses.
Okay, you can stop. Yeah.
Okay.
You understand that? Mm.
So yeah, I guess that goes back to the third mark of non-self that we from the very beginning we have this perception, this illusion of self
Mm.
that separates us from other people
Mm.
and from all creation.
Yeah. So we just ratify the cell through the five sense, right? But last time I talk about the five aggregate, right? The five aggregate. This is this one here. So this is our body material form, the five sense. Besides the five sense, the form, we have the feeling, good feeling, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, perception, our thinking, mental formation. This is our story response that we put here in our mind, and this consciousness here. So those are the components that what we call in general the cell there. Yeah. What's your name? The lady on the other side of the table. What's your name? I forgot.
Oh, I'm Liam.
Yeah. Would you like to read next, please?
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yes. However, in both the ancient world and from the perspective of modern atomic physics, close observation establishes the physical world as being always and every moment in flux. Solid objects are merely atoms in constant motion and themselves consist mostly of empty space. The substances that make up the human body are completely replaced every 7 years. What seem to be enduring entities, seen dispassionately in meditation and through prajna.
Sorry. Let's see here. Let me reduce it so that I can see the whole part. Sorry. Oh, okay. All right here. Yeah. Analysis here.
Analysis are constantly changing. Reality is a process not thing-based, but always in flux. Things arise and pass away, but only as matter and energy in endless interchange and interdependency.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, can you summarize? Can you understand that?
Oh yeah, everything is impermanent and constantly changing.
Oh, Sam, would you mind to type their name on the chat so that I can
Yeah, let me go down there to where that keyboard is.
yeah, so that I can call the name properly. Thank you.
Of course.
So yeah, solid object are mere atoms, right? In constant motion. Yeah, and so it consists mostly of empty space. So and our human bodies are completely replaced in every 7 years. That's impermanent of the body. And there's always everything is always in flux. Okay, let's see here. Let me increase this one a bit. Yeah. Okay. What's your name? The one that sit next to you? I forgot. Can you type on the chat, please?
Joe?
Is that Joe?
Yeah, that's Joe.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing that our embodied world is in flux makes it clear that there is no reason for a desire or attachment. No thing actually exists. Language, by trying to fix reality into unchanging thought units, only serves to confuse us further. Here again, the meditative experience allows one to see beyond the surface illusion, cultivating prajna.
Okay. Yeah, could you summarize, please? You got the idea?
Yes, I'm just trying to come up with a statement. It's just basically by meditating, you become aware of the way the world flows. I mean, in the way the mind flows, because the mind is not, or your thoughts are a product of your mind, and you're a product of the world. You're not, you're never stable. You're never any one thing.
But it's pretty hard concept to understand, right?
Yes.
About Sam, what do you think? Is just applicable? What do you think? This type of concept that we need to recognize evidence in the constant flux in order to have the wisdom. Is that practical? What do you think, Sam?
It's definitely practical. It's really ultimately the only way to approach life, like, you know, because if you don't expect that things are always going to be changing, and if you don't expect what things are actually different than what you see them as, you're always going to be disappointed, because things are never what you think they are. Things are always changing. So you just gotta understand and embrace it, because everything is always in that process.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I could not. What's the name? You type everyone, Sam. You type every names on the screen, please.
Well, there's Joe, John, and Liam, and then we got Jared and Chriselle also.
Okay. Oh, Jerry. Oh, Jerry. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tracy. How can I call your name? Tracy, right?
Chriselle.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you read already, right?
No.
All right, Chair. Can you read, please? Read the next one.
We can see. Oh, yeah, sorry.
The third mark of existence, Anatman, has several meanings. As stated previously, the term indicates Buddhism's rejection of the immortal soul posited in Brahmic/Hindu tradition. Rejecting an unchanging soul is, of course, consistent with the doctrine of impermanence, and has been suggested. As has been suggested, mindfulness meditation shows the individual that there is no permanent entity within, in this sense. Anatman can also be understood as meaning no ego.
Yeah, yes. You can stop there. Okay. So you understand?
Yeah, so meaning that through mindfulness meditation, and you can overcome the sense of that you are, the soul is a good concept that everybody has about like being permanent. That even if you die, you still have your soul that will go somewhere, and that is not the Buddhist view.
There's one Zen master. His name is Linji. So when he was novice, he came to his master and asked, you know, in the Hersh Sutra, he said there's no eyes, no ears, no tongue, no body. What happened? I have my eyes, I have my nose, I have my tongue, I have my body. What happened then? Miss Kirsten, you heard about that story?
No, I haven't heard that story.
About Sam, you heard about that story?
I know the Heart Sutra, but I don't know that particular story about it with the Zen master.
And later on, he became a great master. Again, our body, right, it come and go every instant of our life, right? Our skin, our cell, is changing moment by moment. And that's why it's not the self denial, but the recognition of the impermanence of the body. That's why in Buddhism we need to have that kind of wisdom. Otherwise, it's not easy. Not easy when we getting older, when we have some kind of illnesses. Okay. Is that Lam, right? Liam, right? What's the name? Is that right? Liam?
Liam. Mhm.
Can
Liam.
you raise your name, please? Oh, Liam. Okay, I see. Have you read yet
Yes.
about Joe? Is that right?
Joe, we just read.
Oh, Tracy, right?
Yeah.
Can you read, please? Next one. Yeah, can you read letting go here?
Letting go of the falsely
Yeah.
positive the center of self or I can use this.
Self-centeredness.
Self-centered, the basic of self-attachment is liberating mindfulness meditation, which cultivates prana and undermines the reality of the ego, enables individuals to reconstruct fundamentally their own experience.
Yeah, you can stop there. Yeah, you can stop there. So, is that easy to let go of this? What you call this falsely partial center of the cell? It's not easy, right? Not easy. So, Miss Kirsten, what do you think? Is just if it's not easy, so is this practicals to have that type of principle for us to apply in our daily life? What do you think?
Um, it's not easy. It's our natural state. It is the truth of us. But we have these mental formations that continuously hook our attention and kind of convince us of something different until, like, we repeat the process in meditation or whatever. But it's yes, it's our natural state, but we're so conditioned, or most people are so aware of the conditions that it's easy to get hooked out of that or pulled out of that unnatural state, and then to start to make a self, start saying, oh, there's a me and I'm in pain and I have this, and there's a you. It's pretty easy to get convinced of that unless you have a practice like meditation or something that reminds you of your true nature.
And actually, most of the problems come from the ego, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Joe, right? Mr. Joe, are you come from the Louisville mindfulness, right?
A little bit what?
Oh, that's me.
Are you
John, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah,
came
good to see
last time, right? Thank you. You came last time. Yeah, I'm in here in Houston. Yeah, because we have summer camp here. So I'm here, but I'll be back on the 17th. So yeah, so we learn more about this type of basic principle. So Mr. John, at your group, right? You discussed this type of non-self before, right?
Yes. Mhm.
So what do you think? Is this applicable for our Buddhist people, or is peer tough? What do you think?
Yeah, pretty tough to apply, I guess. I think as part of the earlier reading reference, we start out with the illusion. So we're already behind the 8 ball trying to develop prajna to overcome the idea of self and ego, because we're starting from the illusion instead of starting from a position of reality. So it's, I guess, the hardest of the three marks, I think, to develop prajna and to become familiar with.
But most of us, we see everything as real, right? The table is real, the chair is real, our body is real, everything is real. So how could we apply this type of impermanence or non-self then? It's not easy, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, until we meditate well, we see the fluctuation in our thought and our mind, our view are changing moment by moment too. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Mr. John, would like to read next one, please?
Sure. See, where do you?
Yeah, mindfulness. Yeah.
Okay. Mindfulness meditation, which cultivates prajna and undermines the reality of the ego, enables individuals to reconstruct fundamentally their own experience. That is, the enormous energy that individuals habitually use to form fixed boundaries of their self, bolster their egos, arm themselves with defense mechanisms, obsess over their self-image, and so on, can now be freed for other purposes. From the perspective of Buddhist doctrine, this liberated energy provides the power to renounce worldly desires, push on toward enlightenment, and explains the boundless compassion of the saints.
No, we can stop. Yeah. So when we release the attachment to the ego, right, we have a lot of energy to do other things, right? To push forward the enlightenment, to create the boundless compassion. Again, in our daily life, right, all kind of problems occur because of our attachment to the ego. Let's say someone get the wheel of our car. Is that easy for us to let go? Sam, what do you think? If someone hit the wheel of our car, it's easy to let go, or we have to file?
Honestly, if they wanted to file an insurance thing, they could, but I purposely drive a car that's a little run down, so I don't have to stress about like scratches and stuff, because yeah, I don't like to sweat about that kind of thing.
Yeah, so again, even it's hard for us, but as long as we recognize this everything is impermanent, if we recognize that as long as we attach to the ego, we have a problem. If we just look at this in the easy way, right, in the light way, right, it's much easier for our part. Otherwise, if we see everything is real, if someone broke our chair, if someone break our table, we get mad easily, right? Not think about harm ourselves. Yeah, so that's only when we do meditation we can see that, we can have that kind of clarity. Otherwise, it's be confusion. Yeah, and Mr. Kison, please. Is how?
How?
Okay.
How do meditation and prajna development relate to karma,
Production.
production?
Yeah, it's
I don't know. What does that say? And the mechanism of nirvana realization. As long as there is a karma, karma must ripen. Accumulated karmic consequences. I can't read like half of the sentence.
Yeah, this scan got a little blurred.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Accumulated karmic consequences produce rebirth. Something rebirth.
Yeah.
And if there is a future rebirth, there is no realization of nirvana. Buddhist philosophers and saints have stated that practicing meditation, developing prajna, overcome this problem. In the lower rungs,
Yeah, you can skip. Sorry.
Path,
I'm
the path
so.
to nirvana,
Yeah.
on the path to nirvana.
All right, now,
Yeah.
now I don't even know where
In the
I am.
lower rungs of the path to Nirvana.
Buddhist philosophers say that meditation serves to make good karma for the practitioner. Meditation in itself is a merit-producing act. To the extent that it
Weekend.
weakens the individual's kleshas, greed, delusion, anger. Meditation also
Measure.
measures a person to act rightfully while also diminishing the negativity of one's subsequent karma. But for advanced practitioners, meditation and prajna cultivation are also capable of burning up the seeds of past karma.
You can get energy, right? Can get general understanding. Right?
Yeah, so your karmas tend to ripen as you go on. You do something later on, it comes back, it arises. And of course, if you're not making clear choices, there's going to be rebirth of the problem, rebirth into the cycle of suffering. But if you are on the path and you're able to uproot anger, hatred, greed, delusion, the meditation helps you uproot the kleshas, anger, hatred, greed, delusion. While also you can kind of do some karmic clearing, some sort of almost like repentance, I guess. If you've done some sort of misdeed, you can to a certain degree correct that trajectory.
Yeah, so again, it's based on the Buddha teaching, but nowadays they have the instrument, right? The MRI is that can recognize mindfulness practice, meditation can be helpful. Can change angle, for example. Let's see here, meditation for anger. It's here.
Oh yeah, it actually shrinks your amygdala, I think, doesn't
Yes.
it? Yeah, I think it actually shrinks your amygdala.
Less stress, lower blood pressure, better organs, improve. Okay. So anyway, so nowadays they can scan. They can scan the brain and recognize as mindfulness practice could transform those type of what do you call the mental affliction, right? The greed, hatred, jealousy, and so forth. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Yes, that's Mr. Joe, right? Yeah.
The good news of the Buddha's Dharma is that it is possible for humans to be transformed and liberated by meditation. When they reach a quantum point of developing prajna in a through-going way, this leads to a breakthrough as full detachment occurs. Karma is cut off, and one experiences a breakthrough as full detachment occurs. Karma is cut off, and one experiences an extraordinarily clear mind state. The text The texts call this I can't. Somebody. Yeah, utterly complete or perfect enlightenment. It cannot be described in words except inadequately as bliss and the experience of true freedom. The term of this employed is the Japanese Zen tradition. Be more familiar to Western Satori.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we have a lot of anger in our mind, right? So when we do meditation, we calm our mind. It's just sort of liberation, right? When we have a lot of mental fluctuation, when we have a lot of stresses, anxiety. So when we calm our mind, so is it sort of liberation? It helps us to be free from those mental toxins. I have some student who took my mindfulness class at Houston and IUS. Some of them, after taking my class or after they have done meditation, they could recognize us. They could recognize that they have the power, their own power to transform those mental fluctuation, especially stress, anxiety, and so forth. And that's why it's just so popular nowadays. That people use Headspace, right? Use the mindfulness apps. Yeah. So, any one of you here use mindfulness apps here? Sam, you know about that, right? No.
I've
Okay.
seen them. I might have tried to use one like 2012. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them.
I do. I have used.
You use that?
I have used it. I have like a headset that I put on and that I bought, and then when I meditate, it tells me how much I'm thinking and that I'm still. It keeps track of my heart rate.
So I couldn't see you anymore, Sam. Yeah.
Oh, I just said, wow, what you said. I didn't know that they had turns off. Oh, what's wrong with the camera?
Yeah.
I guess
Turn
it's
on.
that one. Well, you can't even see, but Kirsten, you know, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nếu turn on, đạo thì dòng mong there.
Yeah,
No.
no, he left the room. He was here a minute ago.
Oh, you know how turn on the cam?
No.
No. Okay.
It's gonna have like a button, but I don't see it. Do you think it would work if I like unplugged it and plugged it back in? Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, like somebody else wants to look.
I'm trying to call. Can you come down here and fix the camera?
Yeah, I go down.
I was calling.
You know how to turn on the cam?
I couldn't figure it out.
You see the cam?
I'm not breaking it. I go down.
Ty's coming.
The camera went out and I couldn't find the button. Can you show me how to do it if it happens again?
Oh, good now.
Oh, it's a button over there? Oh, what did you hit?
Yeah.
Start
All right.
video.
Oh, dang, I thought it was something with the camera. I feel silly. Alright, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, ngồi với họ chút xíu đi. Yeah. Oh, you know how, right, Sam? You know how
Now
to...
I do, yeah, is it just, oh yeah, here, okay. Oh.
Yeah, so that's why it's so popular now. It's the tools for us to calm the mind down. So, Mr. John, how long do you used to sit with your group? How long is it? 1 hour or 45 minutes? With your group?
On our Sunday practice, it's usually 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay, and after that you have discussion, right?
Yes.
Are you at the Clifton Center?
Yes. Well, we used to be at Clifton Center. We're in Clifton. Now we're at the League of Women Voters building.
Okay, great.
Okay, yeah. And that's why this is the medicines for us to provide our own treatment to help our mental fluctuation. Okay, let's move on. Yes, you missed that's Sam, right, Sam?
Hmm.
Yeah, go ahead, please. First.
Thus, prajna is a faculty necessary for enlightenment and central to all the Buddhist schools. The Theravadins have seen Vipassana meditation as the essential practice that cultivates it. The Mahayana tradition characteristically developed rich symbolic imagery to express the cultivation of prajna. The celestial bodhisattva Manjushri, for example, see illustration, is commonly depicted as wielding a sword that cuts through delusion and detachment. His sword, symbolized with prajna, he wields it bravely to cut through what deters us from enlightenment.
Okay, yeah, stop. Yeah.
Um, it's talking about how the Theravada school, they mostly just focus on the particular set of meditation tools that they use, like the Vipassana. But in Mahayana Buddhism, we also have a lot of other things to meditate on, a lot of other ways to meditate, like thinking of the Bodhisattvas and Manjushri, like it says, he is depicted with like a sword because it's like your brain gets tied up in knots, like if you think of like confusion and delusion as like a bunch of like knots, like how can you untangle it? But his sword is what just like cuts through it, so you don't have to bother with it. And that sword is prajna, the insight to see past all the illusions.
Yeah, yeah. You see the statue in front of the temple, right? Yeah.
It's on the steps.
Yeah, big,
Yeah,
big
outside of the temple, the white stone statue in the front there. And that's what we have two bodhisattva statue. One is the Manjuri Bodhisattva who represent the wisdom that he carries sword that cut off the illusion and detachment. Yeah. All right. So Lam, right? Would you like to read, please, Lam?
Sure.
Other celestial.
Okay. Other celestial
Yeah, right here.
bodhisattvas are often depicted with a third
Yeah.
with a third eye on the forehead, representing their extraordinarily powerful spiritual insight. The Mahayana school describes the path of bodhisattva with reference to prajna, as it is the culminating perfection on the path to Buddhahood. Mahayana philosophers, stop laughing, it's making me laugh. Mahayana philosophers argue that it is prajna that allows one to see the world calmly and clearly as empty, having nothingness, and so there is no thing to be attached to. The Mahayana path to enlightenment and life beyond it has been evocatively
Are you okay?
you're making me laugh. Yeah, evocatively expressed in a traditional sequence of paintings produced for centuries by Chan Zen artists and known as the ox herding. This compares to the Buddhist practitioner's quest for enlightenment to a herder's search to find his ox.
Yeah, you can stop, please. Yeah.
So prajna allows people to see the world as empty and nothing, and it allows us to see it so that there's nothing to be attached to.
So again, the idea is that how could we apply this type of principle, since it's impermanence in our life, since it's illusion. What do you think, Lam? It's pure heart, right? Everything we see everything is real, right? Right. Yeah, only when we do meditation we could recognize, otherwise not easy. Yeah, let me hands ox. Let me type this one and I show you here. Mr. John, have you I think you read this before too, right? The 10 ox, right?
I'm sorry?
You read before, right? In the Zen tradition, the 10 ox, right?
Oh, yes, yes. I've seen a couple of illustrations of the ox herding story.
Yeah. So, Mr. Gibson, have you seen this before? The 10 ox? You see this?
I don't think so. I'm not very trained in Zen, so, I mean, I know some Buddha teachings about an ox, but a newer interpretation of that, I don't know.
Yeah. How about Joe? Have you seen this? Have you read this before?
No, I have not.
Okay, Sam, you heard about this before?
I think that John might know more about it than all of us.
Yeah.
I've seen the art, but I don't remember
Yeah.
the story.
Okay. Yeah, so the first one here, let's see here. Yeah, this is just the symbolic way of expression, how we recognize our own mind. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I forgot. Jerry, would you read the number 1 and number 2? Chair.
Number 1, seeking the ox, lost in samsara, but pulled toward a higher truth. Number 2, finding the tracks, listening, studying, and seeing the path.
Yeah, let me share with you the video here. Here, it has ox here.
Friends would walk up to me and just be like, "What the f is in your cup?"
Yeah, this is the first one here. First one is seeing the ox. Oh, Lam, would you like to read this one, please?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. In seeking fulfillment, we have no idea where to look. All we see is confusion arising from our thoughts and feelings.
Yeah. So that's what they call the first step, seeking the ox. The ox means a pure mind. A symbolic way of explanation is a pure mind. So we don't have any idea where to look, right? When we sit down, it's all kind of confusion arise in our mind, right? From our thought and our feeling. Yeah. That's the first one. Ja, you like to read next, please?
Me?
Yeah.
Endlessly searching for the ox across rivers, over distant mountains, weak and despairing, I hear only cicadas chirping.
You understand this? So like while we're sitting down, right? We search for our mind, it's confusion, our mind run everywhere. This is talk about the inner state of mind. It cross the river, over distant mountain, it fly everywhere. That's the first step, seeking the ox. And the next one, see the place. Tracy, can you read this one?
As we search, we discover traces of deeper wisdom inside ourselves, but it is still only confident in the right path. It's not yet known.
It's understandable, right? We seek for deep wisdom, right, inside our mind, but it's still concept. know yet, right? Yes, second step, seeing the trace of the ox. Yeah. Mr. John, you like to read this?
Near the river, under the trees, I clearly now see footprints within the grass.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think about when we sit down and calm our mind? This is this symbolic way to explain, right?
Yes, I guess you begin to see the path. You might not know where the path leads or even what made the tracks, but you're starting the process.
Yeah, especially when we follow the breath, right? If at first it's not easy to follow the breath, right? We miss here and there, our mind fly everywhere. But eventually, if we focus on our mind, we can see our breath step by step. Yeah. We find in the ox. Yeah, Mr. Kison, please.
In meditation, our senses are calmed. We catch the sight of the true nature, realizing it is present in everything.
Yeah.
So, you start to see the true nature of existence, which is impermanence.
Yeah, we can recognize our breath, right? If we pay attention on it, yeah. That's we call finding out by the pure nature, true nature. Then. Okay. Mr. Joe, please. Yeah.
Nightingale singing, mild breeze and warm sun. Green willows along the shore, ox cannot hide here, with head and horns majestic.
You understand that?
It's poetic.
So the next step, right? Yeah, go ahead, please. So the next step, right? The third step, right? Find the ox, find a pure nature, and recognize that kind of pure mind, that type of breath in the pure way. So the four, touching the ox. Yeah. Sam, please.
We experience our true nature, but find it hard to keep the mind clear. Just the right amount of effort is needed. I suppose it's saying that whenever you have the ox, or in this case, the peace that comes from understanding the impermanence and everything, that bit of nirvana, in the previous couple, you were seeing a little bit of it, and then the next one you start to see it everywhere. But at this point of the practice, it's like you have to use the right amount of effort to not lose it. Because if you try too hard to maintain that state, that will cause you to lose it. If you don't continue to practice the mindfulness, it'll get away that way instead.
How about in breath meditation? How could we know we need to put the right effort, the right amount of effort to recognize our breath, to recognize our pure nature in meditation? How could we know then?
To contemplate, to practice the mindfulness, you accept things the way that they are, and you have you're talking about the previous week, and what's the word? It's like the awareness that's not like judging, it's like a non-judgmental awareness, like you just see things
Yeah.
as they are. And then you see past that, so what, you know, they're not even what they seem to be, there's something beyond.
Yeah, so sometimes if we have a lot of distraction, we may be angry. We may be angry within ourselves, right? We say, "Oh, why we need to sit here to waste our time?" But if we just let go of that idea, right, and just try our best to bring out mind back to our breath with a right amount of effort, eventually we can calm our mind down. Okay, so we can read the other one next time then. Yeah, all right.